Hello everyone, my name is Jerin John, roll number 2303015. I am here to discuss and share my perspective on one of the key financial reform by the Indian government, which was the formation of an institution known as NARCL, or National Asset Reconstruction Company Limited. NARCL is basically the first ever bad bank of India. When I say bad bank, what does it mean? Bad bank is basically for any country and institution which helps in resolution of NPAs or bad loans. As we are all aware, NPAs are basically non-performing assets, which is created when banks issue out loans to companies for their business running and performance. However, they end up in a situation where they are not or unable to pay back these banks the loan amount, and hence this leads to creation of bad loans and NPAs. For any banking sector in any country, accumulation of NPAs is not a good sign, as it leads to further consequence of banking sector failures. In India as well, in the year 2020, the situation was such that, to give you a perspective, India accumulated close to 10 lakh crore worth of NPAs, and as a ratio, NPAs were as high as 8%, which was highly alarming for India, because this situation being continued would have led to India's banking sector failure even. Hence, as a countermeasure, Indian government had to establish a bad bank for India, which was NARCL, or National Asset Reconstruction Company, in the year 2022 to handle this situation and curb the effect of reducing the non-performing assets and the impact of bad loans in Indian banking sector. NARCL as an institution had both public as well as private sector holding. 51% stake was held by the public sector, as well as 49% stake was held by the private sector. NARCL, how it functioned was, it gave security receipts to the banks in return of taking over their NPAs. So basically, these security receipts acted as a incentive for the banks to resolving their NPAs in a faster manner. As per industry standards, NARCL gave 15 percentage of cash, or paid up 15 percentage of cash against these loans, and 85 percentage of security receipts against these loans. NARCL was a key reform in Indian economics, because NARCL had two key differentiators which were not previously available. The first differentiator was that it incentivized the banks to resolve its NPAs, and NARCL brought in a centralized approach of handling the NPAs throughout the country, which was not previously the case. These two key differentiators of NARCL led to Indian banking sector becoming more stable and more resilient. When I say more stable and more resilient, how does it affect India is, more resilient and more stable banking sector helps or gives confidence to Indian investors as well as the investors abroad to invest in India, which will lead to more capital inflows. Such increased capital inflows leads to a resource which helps in further expansion of Indian economy, with increased private sector investments, more job creation in market, as well as more GDP growth in terms of economic returns. Hence, formation of NARCL in the year 2022 by the Indian government was a major step in the Indian economy to handle the situation of increasing NPAs and bring down the situation of bank loans, which further strengthened the Indian banking sector. Hopefully, this short video brought in more perspective on the key financial reform of NARCL, which was the first ever bad bank in India. Thank you.